is gonna be my 30-day waking up at 3 a.m. challenge. I decided to do this because I love the idea of waking up early in the morning, and when I do wake up early in the morning, I get more things done, and I feel very accomplished and very proud of myself at the fact that I woke up really early in the morning and did things, especially because I'm a night owl. It's almost 11 right now, and this is like the earliest. Actually, I have slept earlier before, but this is like one of the earliest times I sleep normally. But yeah, I'm going to be waking up tomorrow at 3 a.m. I'll do that consecutively for a month. Today, right now, it's July 22nd. So we're gonna see till August 22nd how that's gonna go. Good morning, butterflies. I know it says 4 on the clock, but I woke up at like 3:10, and then I went to take a shower, and I just came back. So yeah, woke up at 3 a.m. Day 1 check. It was 3:10, but a win is a win. So about the 3 a.m. thing, today I woke up at 5. But it's okay. I'm on my period, so I just want to give myself the rest that I deserve. A win is a win. I woke up at 5 a.m. And considering the fact that I was a night owl, this is actually pretty good. It's a pretty good streak. And I just took a shower, so it is 5:47. But in case that's not clear, because I started doodling on that. I can't read anything on there though. It's whatever, but yeah, I'm proud of myself regardless, because waking up at 5 a.m. when I don't have to go anywhere is still a pretty big deal, because I'm just staying at home the whole day. But I still woke up at 5, so I'm proud of myself regardless. I'm also in my little gardening era, so I'm kind of made the soil yesterday, and then I did yoga, and then talked to my friends. But yeah, my day was pretty chill yesterday, but I liked it that way. Let's see how today goes. This is a little update. So along with my 30-day waking up at 3 a.m. challenge, I kept a little habit tracker for a year. A year meaning like a Hindu New Year, so April 7th, not January 1st. So we'll see how that goes. I just wanted to keep it with this because I just feel like they're a little correlated and they would match each other. You want to say hi to my little friend here? Hello. Speaks British, so yeah. I've yet to name it, but Snake says hello for now, until I name it. Now I'm just filling out my planner. I got this pen. My friend gave me it. It still works. It still works. Okay. But yeah, I've written this part down. We'll see what else is there. So I decided I'm gonna break it down every week. So I'm gonna post a new video every single week. So I started this challenge 2 days ago, the 22nd. Let me pull that up. 22nd, Monday evening. So I will post, this video should be out by the 29th. So you can look forward to that. Wait, hold up. I'm on the wrong month. Wait, I am so sorry. Wait. Today's the 24th. Today's the 24th, yeah. I started 2 days ago. Wednesday, never mind. It's Wednesday. So, I will post the next video Wednesday night. Yeah. So it was Wednesday, 22nd. The 29th, though. I'll still post on the 29th. It's gonna be a Wednesday. It's not a Monday. That was June. But yeah, I will post it. So every week. And you guys can start the challenge as well. And you guys can do it with me if you want. If not, that's fine too. It's nice. Today is the 25th. I woke up at 5:43 a.m. Not 3, but it was still early, considering I would wake up pretty late into the day. But yeah, I woke up 5:43. I really should wake up using an alarm instead of just letting my body just wake up whenever. But maybe I just listen to the alarm and then I ignore it. I don't know what goes on, but pretty sure I have a few alarms. I guess they just don't work. Along with waking up early, I've started to sleep earlier as well, which I'm very happy and very proud of myself for doing. Today is day 2 of the habit thing I've been doing, and day 3 of waking up early. I'll be going over to a friend's house in a few hours, so you guys can see me get ready. I'm just gonna put on like my daily makeup right now. I have no makeup on, as you can tell, probably. I just put lip balm because my lips were like really dry. But yeah, this is the makeup look. This is my outfit. I will post it on Instagram. Woke up at 4:34. Right now it's 5:08. And it's July. Day 5. Today is the 27th. And I woke up at 5:11. Woke up as in I got off my bed 5:11. And right now it's 6:33, but yeah. I already checked off 3 things from my list of daily things I should be doing. And to say the least, I'm very proud of myself. I just had this realization, okay? I believe that if you want to not believe in God, that's fine. But I think it'd be better if you were well versed in what you were reading about God and then choosing to not believe in God, rather than just blatantly saying that God doesn't exist without reading scriptures or anything. I mean, it's different if you're not interested, and that's fine too, right? It's just my opinion, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but that's just my opinion. That got me thinking, okay, but like, I don't have a right to say about anything else, about any other religion either, because I have not read the scriptures of their religions. And earlier in one of my videos, I was talking about how Eve ate the apple, and I only read Genesis, I don't know what it's called, but it from the Old Testament, like the beginning, like the word, how the world was created. Eve was created from the rib of Adam, and that God instructed Adam not to eat the apple, and then Eve trusted a snake, and the snake told her to eat the apple, and she ate the apple, and she fed him. That's all I read. And I get if I made some random assumption, and I was like, okay, wait, I'm doing the same thing. I don't know about their religion, so I have no right to say anything about their religion when I haven't even read, anything about it. I just read the beginning, and I just said, yeah, and I just made assumptions, and that is wrong, right? And I realized that, and I'm like, okay, so moving on, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna read something random and then just making your own assumptions without thoroughly looking at it first. And that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. If I have said anything that may have offended you or came out the wrong way, that is not my intention. I am learning, as you can tell. I am learning through my mistakes and through everything that I am doing and just getting better every day. So sorry for... Okay, I'm a little late today, but I woke up at 6:06 today. I fell back asleep after that. Yeah, after doing my daily chores, I was like, I'm a little sleepy. So I fell asleep. And then I woke up at like 11? Yeah. But it's okay. 1% better every day, right? I will wake up early tomorrow. I also slept really late last night. Actually, I slept at midnight. So that's probably why I woke up late and then still felt sleepy. But that's no excuse. I will show up better tomorrow. But I will do yoga today. We'll see how that goes. So I was reading this book, right? It's called What the Fact by Dr. Seema Yasmin. And she was over here, it was talked about something called pessimistic meta-induction. And pessimistic meta-induction, a philosophical argument against science realism. It says that since in the past there have been scientists that have been very, very wrong. For example, the geocentric model in like long ago when they believed that the Earth was in the center of the universe and the sun revolved around. It's the idea that since scientists were wrong in the past, they're going to be wrong today and their theories will be proven false in the future as well, which is kind of interesting. And I'm not trying to say that science is false or wrong. I'm saying that it's interesting because there's so many things that are just not set in stone. There's so many things you actually don't know about. And maybe in the future you might be proven wrong. Maybe in the future you might be proven right. Who knows, right? It's so curious to see that we're coming up with all these ideas. And maybe somewhere in the future, someone's going to question these things and they're going to find more evidence that supports this evidence or it goes against it. It's just like, it's just evolving. Science keeps evolving and it's just a very interesting thing to think about. Also, there's this thing called illusion of explanatory depth, which states that people often think they know much more about something than they actually do. Like the simplest things, honestly. For example, I'll take the book's example. Do you know how a toilet works? Like the actual mechanisms of a toilet. Do you? I mean, you do know that it flushes the waste out, right? And it goes somewhere through the sewage or whatever, but you don't know the actual mechanisms that trigger the flush, that trigger the water and everything. You don't actually know how it works as well as you think you do, right? And that is so true with so many things we see in our life. There are so many things in our life that we just don't know about in truth, but we believe that we do. And that's an illusion. That we think we know things in more depth than we actually do. And I guess that can also have biases, right? When you believe you know something more than you actually do, I think you're more likely to be firm in that belief. And when there's evidence that says it's wrong and you're like a little less strong with your beliefs, and it's true, right? That's why I try to look at both sides, and I don't really firmly believe in anything because it's just, there's so many counter arguments to it as well. And when you do try to convince others of seeing things from a different point of view, they either have these two effects, the backfire effect or the pushback effect. Now, the backfire effect is when this person starts creating random counter arguments to why this is false, and then to why what you're saying is false to the other person that is saying something different from their biases, and they are even more firmer in their beliefs. Whereas the pushback effect happens where they question the other person's question but they do take some of the facts that they are talking about, right? And that's a more healthier dynamic than the backfire effect, because backfire effect, it's just people just believing their own things and fighting and creating the most stupidest counter arguments to just prove that they're right, even though, you know, those arguments are pretty not very great, right? For example, gender wars. For example, just any wars you see. Race, gender, sexuality, literally anything. There's also this thing called the sunrise problem, where instead of just firmly believing in something or firmly not believing in something, you can have a happy middle, a medium, right? Like, you have like 80% belief in a certain thing and then like 20% belief in the other thing, and coming up with your own beliefs and just, you know, how much do you actually believe in this thing versus how much you actually believe in this other thing, like that, and not this, yes, I believe in that, no, I don't believe in that. Instead, it's like, you take certain topics and you're like, okay, I sort of believe that, but I sort of also disagree with some things, or, you know, this is a good way to see things. However, this is also another way to see things, right? Because there's numerous ways of seeing things. There are numerous perspectives, numerous perceptions, and it's very interesting. Each human looks at something in a different way. Each human thinks in a different way, and it's just so unique to us. And I think that's what makes each of us unique, and I think we should lean into those more. Lean into our thinking instead of conforming and trying to be liked by other people, right? Because that's a challenge a lot of people face. I faced myself. I used to not express my opinions as much. I would just listen to other people and just blindly agree with them, right? And I would argue I still do that to a certain extent with my friends, but I do sometimes when they're taking things a bit too far, I do question. I'm like, okay, let's backtrack, and, you know, and then we have a healthy conversation that's two-sided, instead of just one person spewing their whatever they're saying and the other person just agreeing with them. Here's the thing. Our brain creates shortcuts to make understanding and grasping information easier, because our brain just likes to label things in general, and that's, you know, the limited human mind. Then comes the inductive and deductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning is, I have only seen black sheep in my life, therefore all sheep are black. You know how wrong that statement is? Yeah. And that's just a brain shortcut, right? Because humans, right, our brains, the only thing they've seen in their life is black sheep. So that's the only thing they're gonna assume about everything else. And that is so prevalent when people these days just live in their own bubble. They do not even try to look at other people's point of views or what these people are trying to say. Of course, there's a limit. You know, they're extremists, so there are some things that maybe, you know, make sense from the extremist point of view, but extremists are called extremists because they take things to the very, very extreme. But what I'm trying to say is, inductive reasoning is a brain shortcut. When we stay in one place and we've only seen that place's environment, people, experiences, we cannot understand another person who's from a different place and has different experiences. We do not understand it because we've not lived through it. And so sometimes our brain creates these shortcuts that, you know, kind of sometimes don't understand the other person's point of view, and it kind of can seem insensitive as well. And it's ridiculous, right? And it's so prevalent in online communities these days because everyone's just like, oh, women are selfish and manipulative, and then men are toxic and, you know, like, whatever. You know, I see these things online and I'm just like, okay, I get some of these things, but also, why are you taking it to the extreme? I've had past experiences too. It's pretty bad, but I believe there's the other side of the coin as well, okay? sure, if all you've seen is negativity, it's hard to see the positives, but there are positives. And that's why your brain creates these mental shortcuts. The only thing you've seen is negative in your life, so you assume that it's negative all over, which is not true. Positives exist as well, right? And as someone who's only seen positives in the world, I kind of see, it's kind of hard to believe that there are negatives, but since I've also experienced some negatives, it's like, okay, the duality exists, where there's no denying that. I can choose to look at the positives and just try my best to be with people that are positive, healthy, and avoid people that are toxic, right? Because that's the only way I can protect my peace. Because I know, and I've dealt with toxic people, and I know how it's very draining. It is. Yeah. But yeah, this was a really long rant, but anyways, that's what I learned, and that's what fascinated me most about this book. But definitely check it out. It's a really good book. You learn a lot from this. Okay, so I kept reading, and wow, I'm shook. But we know it's a fact that, social media is fighting for your attention, right? In the algorithm, it shows you the things that you want to see, but it also shows you, slowly navigates you towards more negative things, because negative things attract more attention than positive things. We know that's a fact. Our brain is wired to perceive negative things, because danger and stuff like that. But negative things get more reactions by humans, and when there's more negativity online, that's when most social media platforms get the most money, because these people want money, and they get money from your attention, your likes, your shares, and your comments. And when you do that on negative posts and negative media, you see like posts that provoke anger are 13% more likely to spread false information and hate, especially against a certain group of people, because that creates some sort of tribalism in people. The human need to fit in, right? It's ridiculous, I know, but that's just how it is. Most people don't realize that they're all just living in their lives just automatic mode, right? Like, they see something, they feel this emotion, they react externally instead of working on things internally. Not many people do that, the internal work. This what surprised me a lot, because I would assume that, people would want to get better, and people would want to grow and be open-minded. But no, many people are not like that. And I saw this firsthand. And I'm glad I'm not with these people anymore, but they're just in their own headspace, and they just want you to believe what they believe, and it's tiring, to say the least. Because closed-mindedness is also linked to more negativity than open-mindedness. I read this in an article once. It was something about emotional intelligence. I will link it down when I remember, but it basically said that the more open-minded you are, the more likely you are to be happier, and the more closed-minded you are, more likely you are to experience more negative emotions. Now, obviously, studies have their own limitations, but it makes sense logically as well, right? When you're more open-minded, you're more open to other people's perceptions. You are more accepting of, believing that, what you believe in is not entirely true. And it just creates more healthier relationships and more healthier dynamics, because people learn to disagree. But when someone is just so rooted in their own beliefs, and they see someone who has different beliefs, and that person starts questioning their beliefs, they get triggered, they get angrier, and then they attack their beliefs, and it's just a headache, and it's just, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, guard your attention, guard your time, because that's the most valuable aspect of your life. Okay? Time, attention, that is what everyone is after these days. And that is what, if you put it in the right place, will give you happiness, and anything else that you want. Hi. Change of environment, scenery. I'm doing a guided yoga, so we'll do that because normally I do it in the morning, but since my routine today was messed up by my sleep, I'm doing it in the evening, so let's see. The number one thing in yoga is to breathe. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress that enough. Breathing in between poses, in between asanas, because that breathing is what is beneficial for you. It's very essential to breathe in. I feel way more grounded. It was really hot outside, but minus that, everything else, it was nice. That's why I do it in the morning, because in the morning it's usually cooler. In the evening it gets hot, so it's like not a good time to. And it's also, as per Ayurveda, I think it's not good. It's not a good time. Evening is not a good time. It's mornings usually. That's when you gain the most benefits. But anyways, that was my little rant. I'm gonna go take a shower, eat dinner, and go to sleep. For the second time this whole week, I think, I woke up in the hour of 3, meaning I woke up at 3:51. So I'm closer to my goal today than I was any day after last Wednesday, but I'm very happy. I woke up without an alarm, and I'm just very thankful to be alive and to wake up today. But yeah, I'm just very happy. If you're able and willing to, practice yoga in the mornings, because in the mornings you gain the most benefits, because when you wake up in the morning, one, it's colder outside, but also you haven't eaten anything yet, so when you practice yoga, you gain the benefits, like all the benefits of yoga, and versus doing it in the evening after you've eaten your lunch and your breakfast, which can sometimes, I think, it disrupts the energies when you're doing asanas, or maybe it's just harder to do it. You know, I feel it too. I mean, when I practiced yoga in the evening, when it was hot, and also when I ate what I ate, I also felt heavy, you know, if you know what I mean. In the morning you feel light and just, you can fly, but in the evenings, I guess it's kind of like it weighs down on you in a way. But yeah, those were my 2 cents on it. Take what you will. I am finally at the end of this week. I will be posting this very soon, but all that aside, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. It truly does. Like, you actually watch the videos. You guys actually watch the videos. You take away things, and you also question some things that I say, which I appreciate. I do, because I don't just want you guys to be passively watching. I want you guys to form your own opinions and your own thinking, right? And I appreciate that so much, and I appreciate that you guys don't sound condescending or judgmental and actually have a healthy conversation. And just, I enjoy talking to you guys, and it's amazing. It's very supportive, and I love this community. This family, actually, not community. This family. My butterflies. I love you guys, truly. Thank you so much for watching. I'm truly grateful for all of you, each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Let me know what else you guys would like to see from me, and I will keep posting about like how it's going next week and then the week after, and other things as well. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.